Hey, yo. Uh, I hope you can hear me. I'm close to a major street. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. There's nothing. I have a Davidoff Grand Cru number two. Anyway, let me fire it up. Fire it up. Fire it up. What's up, boys? Davidoff Grand Cru. So I wanted to talk about Archie and his channel. Um, he cursed me out, and he gave a lot of information that was personal out. You know, that's no good. That's no bueno. No bueno. And so that's him. Who else do we have? We have Curly. Curly is kind of a mean dude. I mean, let's face it. He likes to attack. He never forgave me when I complained about the Mookie video with the ice skating. You know, the one with OC ice skating, and it was like the thousandth time I've seen it. And I said, Jesus Christ, this is getting ridiculous. Pardon my reference to Jews. And he never forgave me for that. It's like Mookie is his son or something. He loves the guy that much, and he can do no wrong. And any criticism is you know a call for death of the person who made the criticism. Anyway, Archie shared a lot of personal stuff that I shared with him, not intending for him to share it with other people, but he did. This is a good cigar. Let me see. Let me see what Archie wrote to me. He likes to read everything I write to him on his channel. He, he, he has no concern for privacy. So neither will I. Let's see, Archie. Let's go back a little bit here. I want you on the stream. I'll come on a little bit later. You doxed my name, you fool. I'll take the stream down after this. Too late. Unbelievable. The final straw. He says, I'm sorry. Don't message me. It was an accidental thing. Maybe it was an accidental thing. Maybe it was, but foolish. Then he says, nobody really cares about you. Nobody really cares about you. You contact me with nothing important. I said, be careful. He said, okay. And then I put up a video with a Hebrew curse on Archie. Hebrew curse. He didn't like it. He said it was voodoo. Maybe it was too much. But I did consult with this or as this, and I asked him if it was too much. He didn't say no. So, okay, so Archie says, just fuck off. I don't need friends like you. Go fuck yourself. I have no idea why you should be so nasty. What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, keep digging. And then he said, digging for what? And I said, I have nothing to lose. How about you? I was talking about my YouTube channel. I'm not monetized. I have 0 viewers. And then he says, I had my collection stolen. One of my sons died. We all know that. When his son died, there was universal love in the Archieverse. Every single person in the Archieverse came to offer condolences and all of that stuff, including myself. You know, but it's interesting. He talks about the collection before he talks about his son. Collection, stolen, then son. And he says, you think you can scare me? Fuck off, loser. I'm not trying to scare you. You scare yourself naturally. Game on. He says, what is your problem? What do you want from me? I want you to go back in time and not dox my name. Okay. You say it's not important. I'm talking about my name. My name's not important. Of course, it's not important to you. You have a lot of sick people on your channel. Not all of them. They're not all sick, but there are some people who go too far. Anyway, he wants to lash out at me. I've unfortunately given him too much money over the years, and that's my stupidity. Yeah, sometimes Archie praises you and declares his love for you. The next moment he curses you to the lowest depths of hell. His words hold no value. Well, it's true. It's like a little dog barking. Yeah. Archie has no friends, never has, never will. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't have a lot of friends. I have a few friends. The father of one of my oldest friends once said that friends are for children. That's what he said. Friends are for children. I don't know if I agree with that completely, but you know, when you're kids, you make friends and everybody's great, and then you drift apart. You know, you get your family, and you have no time for those people, and sometimes the politics just divides. So, you know, my friend's father had a point. And friends are great. I love friends. I love my friends. But a real friend is a rare thing. You can have lots of acquaintances, but very few friends. Never open up to on NPD. Narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I might be a narcissist to some degree. I like to wear fancy shirts and, you know, but I have compassion for people. Truly. My parents lost their cat. They had a cat for like 10 years. They loved this cat. I saw the cat maybe 100 times. I didn't know the cat well. but the cat disappeared and never came back. And I was heartbroken by the loss of this cat. You know, and it was a cat. Bear. Let's talk about Bear. Bear. I always liked Bear. He is well spoken. He has a lot of common sense. Hold on, T-Dubs. Hold on a bit. Just a second, man. And I think Bear was really, really devastated by the loss of Archie's son. Understandably. You know, it's a tragedy beyond words. You know, but then I'm going to live stream it, and Tan's going to collect the super chats, and then, as soon as the funeral's over, he flies away for a month. Oh, but that's judgmental. Okay. Maybe it is. Maybe it's judgmental, but maybe sometimes there's a point for being judgmental. So I think Bear reflected. I think he thought, my God, if I lost my son, that would be the end of my world. When Bear lost his father, he was gone for weeks and weeks. And that's the natural order of things. Losing your parents is as sad and horrible as it is. That's the natural order. But, to lose a child is a tragedy beyond words. And I think Bear felt it very deeply. That's my opinion. But I'm sticking by it. Let's see here. What do we got here? Herman, you Gronk. I was backstage. I'm sorry, T-Dubs, come back. I saw it, but I had a few things to say. You want to guess or what? Yes, I do. Please come back. I apologize. Yes, come back, T-Dubs. Come back. Come back. In a world filled with friends, you lose your way. Well, yeah, friends are great, but, the family is the ultimate. And Archie lashed out. He brought up something that I don't have children. Well, maybe I don't. But I never shared that with anybody. So he can believe what he wants to believe. Dubs, what's up, man?
Hey, Herman.
How you doing,
mate?
I'm okay, man. I'm okay.
Just got to sort out the comms, mate. I'm on low battery.
When you say comms,
what's
what
happening,
do you mean?
mate?
I never understood that, the comms. What does that mean?
Comms?
Yeah, the comms. The comms. I don't get the joke.
The comms. The communication. The comms, mate. It's short for the comms.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you doing?
The comms is like military, like the comms. Comms. We got comms. Okay. We got comms now.
Yeah. Right on.
What's happening, mate? Having a cigar.
Yeah. Davidoff Grand Cru #2. It's very nice.
Oh yeah, nice, mate, nice. Sweet? Is it sweet? Is it sweet?
It is a little sweet. It's very delicious. I noticed notes.
We pay so much for them down under, mate. They tax us heavily on them. You pay $100 Aussie for a good cigar.
For one of these?
Oh, probably for a Davidoff, mate. You'd be looking at I don't know whether locally you get them. Maybe have to go to Brizzy. The only cigar shop I know is tobacconist out west a bit. But the last ones I got off him cost me. My son got them for me for my birthday a couple of years back. A couple $100, 2 or 3 cigars. We get taxed heavily on tobacco products and that, mate. We get taxed heavily, mate. heavily.
What happens if I send them to you in the mail?
I don't think that. No, they wouldn't get in, mate, because
Oh,
you might be able to do it. You'd have to ask Arch. There's some way you can do it, but I think it's got to be put as a gift. But I wouldn't. No, thank you for the offer, mate. I appreciate that, but I wouldn't, because it might not get passed, might not get in. Yeah.
yeah, I understand that. So,
So
did you
how's
notice
the weather
that
there, mate? Looks good. Looks sunny. What time is it there, mate?
it's 7 p.m. It's pleasant. Yeah, it's pleasant. It's not too hot. It's
Okay.
mild.
How's the girls going? How's Sasha and Princess?
They're
Little
very
princess.
good. They're very good. They're inside the house. I don't want to smoke in the house. My wife will
Yep.
raise hell, as as she should. But they're doing good.
Okay. No worries. And how's the
So,
missus? She all good, mate? She doesn't like you smoking inside, that's all.
yeah, I got to keep it outdoors.
Okay.
But let's see what we got here. Herman, you want feedback on?
I don't take any notice of that. Don't take any. I just put that in the comments, mate.
Okay.
I was backstage there for a bit.
Not on purpose.
So what were you talking about before? You said what did you say? Archie doxed you? What do you mean? I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't get that. What happened?
Well, he deleted the stream yesterday, and he posted like a screenshot of some of his contacts, and my actual name was there. And,
Okay.
I don't think he did it on
But
purpose.
I don't think he would have done it on purpose. I've never known him to be. Don't think that.
Yeah.
Herman.
But
I think it might have just been a genuine mistake.
Yeah, I know. I just worry about some of the people who dislike me.
Look, Archie's doxed himself. He's doxed himself at times, but people don't really. I don't think people are here that are that malicious, mate. I don't think they would last if they were.
Yeah, most of them, yeah. There may maybe a few outliers who want to cause chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what time?
Well, look, I can tell you now. Archie knows my real name, and he's never. It's always T Dubs, I mean, I've met Arch. We broke bread together.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Communication systems. Yeah. Thanks, Marcus. So what time is it now?
Comms, yeah. It's 8 minutes past midday, mate, at the moment. I've been really lazy here today. I just got on this morning because I saw Arch was on there by himself with young Eddie and the Dreamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thought I'd jump on and help him out. And,
I appreciate it. It's great. It's great having you on. You're always an asset to me.
The thing is, I'm not a wowser, mate. I'm not a member of any temperate society or not that, but I know from my experience when I've jumped on and I've been full blast, it just, you really show yourself up, the people have booted me when I've been on pissed to the eyeballs. And I don't know. Eddie sounds like he's been listening for a few years, and he's possibly thought, like he was sort of saying, "Oh, I'm here as a special guest of Archie," like all you other jokers, piss off, leave me alone to talk with Archie. I think he got the wrong gist of it. I wasn't putting him down. I wasn't having a go at him. It was just, just banter. That's all. But
yeah, I didn't hear it. I heard that
when he started threatening Danny, I thought that's not on.
Yeah, if Danny's getting pissed off, then it's really something to be worried about. Because Danny's always good in a good humor, and he's never, you know, he wants to have fun. That's his thing. He doesn't
Yeah,
want to.
well, that's basically all it is, mate. It's fun. It's a fun thing, and if you just take it, if you do take, like I said to him, you know, Archie was saying like, help him out. What's he going to do? Blah blah blah. But he sounded like he knows everything. He's sort of, you know, look out. I've been there and done that, all that sort of thing. But it's hard talking to people. You're talking to either an avatar or, you know, I'm just on my mobile device. You're talking to. I can see you. You know, maybe if we met in person, we'd be able to, like if I met Eddie in person, I'd be able to have a genuine conversation with him. I was trying to have a genuine conversation, but also with a bit of banter as well. And I think he took that the wrong way. But Mikey fired up. It was good to see Mikey firing up. Haven't seen Mikey fire up for a long time. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, does it?
No, it's good. It's good that Mikey fires up every now and again. I think that's great.
Yeah, everybody should fire up occasionally.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think Danny got a little upset. Danny did get a little upset. I don't blame him. But I tried to sort of smooth it. I tried to mediate. I said, you know, try and let it go over your head, Danny. I said, I think it's the cider talking. I don't know whether he was drinking apple cider. I don't know whether that was a pop. Is that a pop drink or is it an alcoholic? I know cider is alcohol, cider.
Yeah, it's normally an
That's all I know.
But who cares? You know, who cares about people who drink alcohol? So what?
But I tried to say to him, I said, you know, like I said, it sounds like you've tripped up a couple of times in life. He's 42. I said, you know, where are you going from? But I think he was on last night. I was listening to him. He was talking to Luxie about the hadrogen, the collider. Hadrogen, I think it's in Sweden. It's Switzerland, isn't it? In Switzerland, the collider. My son was right into that. My oldest son was right into it. I think they're trying to create a black hole or something, aren't they? They're trying to create nuclear fusion or fission to create a black hole in a controlled environment.
That sounds like a tall order.
You
never know, though. I mean, you know, we did the Manhattan Project, so, you know.
Yeah. Who knows, mate? That's the thing. Who knows? I like to keep things simple. You know the old saying, keep it simple, stupid. You know, Eddie said, oh, you sound like an intellectual. Do I sound like an intellectual to you, Herman? Do I sound like an intellectual?
The intellectual is an insult. Anyway, all the intellectuals caused all the problems in the 20th century. I mean, all the, you know, your Karl Marx and all these.
Well, I wasn't trying to come off as an intellectual. I wasn't trying to come off to him as being some higher intellect than him.
No. You
know, I wasn't talking down to him.
No, you come off as a regular bloke, you know, a regular guy. Which is a compliment.
Just like I said to him, yes, thank you, mate. Thank you. That's all I am. It's just a regular bloke. You know, I don't try and come off as anything. I hope people don't. I hope I'm not taken that way. I just said to him, maybe it's because of my path at the moment. You know, I have to be rigorously honest with myself and people around me. So, but I don't know where Eddie's at. You know, maybe Eddie is at a turning point, and he's confused about which path to go. You know, he's at the crossroads in his life. Yeah. But then I detected a hint of arrogance there with Eddie. And it was the arrogance that came through, and then the threats to Danny. And I thought, oh, this doesn't sound good. And Archie just let it go. I thought Archie should have stepped in, and I don't think Archie knew what to do there. You know, that's why I jumped on, because I think Archie was trying to give him some advice, and Eddie just wanted to. I call it You know what I call it, Herman? I call it neg raving. The neg raving, and I've listened to hours and hours of guys neg rave about prison and this happened and that happened, this story and that story. It's like, here we go, story time again. You know, I just cut straight through it, and I go straight to the bone, mate. That's just me, because I've lived it, I've seen it, and I've heard it all before, mate. You know, I've heard thousands of stories. You know, I've heard all the stories, mate. I've heard them all. They don't, you know, I want genuine. I want the genuine article. You know, and that's what I like about you. You're the genuine article. You seem to be the genuine article, you know?
Thank you, my friend.
So, yeah.
I
wasn't trying to put him down. I wasn't trying to put him down or shame him or humiliate him or, you know, and even Mikey said that. Mikey said, no, T-Dubs is not. I wasn't doing that. I was just trying to say, well, where are we going? Huh? Eddie, where are we going from here, you know?
Yeah.
You're 42. Yeah. You're 42, you know, you're drinking cider. I don't know what time of the day. He's drinking cider in the car. But he sounded like he's carrying on like he's some spy. Like he's talking about Russian mafia and hadrogen colliders, and like he's carrying on like he's some fucking spy, some agency. Or he's working for the CIA or something, you know? Who fucking like?
I got to go back and listen to it.
I know Archie likes the excitement. He likes it when the few panelists get on. We start having a crack. He likes the crack, you know. Archie likes the crack, and I think Danny likes the crack as well. But Eddie took it the wrong. I don't think Eddie got. You seem to get our humour, you know, the Aussie and English humour. I don't think Eddie did. I think Eddie took it. He took it to heart, and that's why he started getting really aggro and getting carried away with himself. But look, genuinely, I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing all right. Look, I'll try and give another human being a hand up. You know, I'll try and give him a hand up at any stage, Herman. You know, I'll offer a hand of friendship.
Deserves a second chance. I mean, you know, unless they did something so horrible that is irredeemable that I won't even bring up. But yeah, most people deserve a second chance, or even maybe a third chance.
Like Archie said, he's got no friends and that. And then he chimed in. He said he doesn't want friends. Well, you know, he's probably, that's just his pride. You know, pride, ego, arrogance, all the deadlies. You know, pride and like, oh, I don't need friends. I'm a big tough cunt. You know, I've been inside and I've been to Fed prison and this one and that one, and you know, I had a phone and. Oh, the cops did this, and oh, they beat the shit out of me, and oh, they fucked me up the ass, and oh, blah, 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 blah. Like I've heard it all before, Herman. I've heard all this shit, the stories, you know. I've heard it all before, mate. It just goes over my head. Goes over my head.
So I
because, as I said to him,
yeah.
Most guys that have been there, you know, it's like Jack. I'll give Jax his due. Jack's never. People were always pressing Jax about stories, you know, and he just said, I don't really like talking about it because it was a bad experience. It was a bad time in my life. So as I said to Eddie, most guys who have been through that experience and that which it is a traumatic experience, they really don't like talking about it. And I wasn't questioning his truth. Like, that's what I think he's got up at me. He thought I was questioning his truth. I wasn't questioning that. I was just looking for some humility. And he sort of, like Archie said, why don't you try some volunteer work? And I think he got uptight about that. Like I said, you know, I heard you with Lux, and I was going to, but I thought, no, I'm not going to go any, because I said to him, you know, yeah, partaking. And like, anyway. But I hope he comes back. But
yeah, you know, it was entertaining. What I heard was entertaining. I didn't hear the attacks on Danny and all that stuff. So I'm going to go back. And
I didn't. Yeah, well, it got a bit heated there at one stage, and I said to Arch, "Come on, pull it up, take control." And he backstaged him, and he was ranting in the backstage. So it sounds like he was had a few too many ciders. But I think Arch is a bit desperate for panelists, and that's why I've been jumping. Jumping because I think he felt Arch and I got along. We got along well when we went out. You know, I tried to be as authentic as I possibly could with Arch. He's not easy. But if you befriend him, you will get genuine friendship. and mateship with him, with Archie. I'll tell you that now. You will get genuine friendship and mateship with Arch. He's he's staunch. We call it staunch, Herman.
Well, yeah, when I met
Arch
him,
is staunch.
it was great. When I met everybody on the boat.
Yeah, well, you met him, yeah.
Yeah, Dirk was great. Dirk was a sweet guy. He made the most delicious ribs, and nothing transpired. There were no fisticuffs or anything, you know.
No, he doesn't like confrontation, and you know, look, what's mental saying? Problem is always with Arch.
We're trying to say get rid of him, derail his main show. It will push people away having dickheads on like that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I suppose Arch was just trying to. Well, I went back and I listened to the start of it because I missed the start of the main show. So, and I listened to it, and I think he wanted to have Eddie on as like a special guest. Maybe he didn't know that Eddie was having a few at the time. They were talking watches, you know, and Eddie Arch was saying, well, maybe a Milgauss can help him get his life sorted. But Eddie, I don't think he got that. You know, that's just Arch's way of trying to break the ice.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I didn't really know which way it was going, so that's why I jumped on, because I was listening to it and I'm thinking, where's Arch going with this guy? What's going on here? And that's why I jumped on and thought, I said, okay, Eddie, like, where are we going from here? You know, what are we doing? Like, Arch started to try and give life advice, which he does. He does do it, but it comes from people take it the wrong way. I think they sometimes think that it's not genuine, but it comes from a genuine standpoint. You know, like, the guy's 42, so Arch is 51, turning 52. He's 10 years younger. You know, like, I wish I was 42 again. But the arrogance and the aggression, like you were saying, I was being aggressive. I don't think I was being aggressive. I don't think I was. Definitely not. No, definitely not.
Don't blame yourself. You're a good guy.
No, I was just trying to look. I was genuinely trying to help Arch, because you know, I haven't been on the main show, and I listen to him sometimes, and I think, shit, I should get on and help a bit more, talk to him, try and I don't want to come on and control the narrative. Yeah. That's not me. I'm not that type of person. And this is the thing when Arch said about me with the Goldie office and that, I can probably run a show. I could run a show, but I don't want to be a person that's like dictating. Like, I'm not as good as someone like Curly, or like you can do a show. you do a show, okay? Because you seem to be a good listener, Herman. You know, I think that's what you got to be. You got to be a good listener.
Yeah, the musician in me. That's what we do. We listen.
You got to be a good listener. Yeah. But also you got to try and read the room a bit. You know, if you read the room, keep an eye on the chat, and you know, if you can tell whether through the chat whether people are getting pissed off or listening or not. Sometimes I don't think Arch takes much notice of the chat, because he might have done that in the past. The chat sometimes can control the stream. You don't want to let that control the stream.
Yeah.
The super chats, you know. But if I was to run a stream, I don't think I'd be dogmatic in a way. You know, like ABC, we've got to do this, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, I would try and run it in a freestyle manner, but also try and keep a modicum of direction. You know, that's the word I'm trying to look for, direction.
Civility.
And and civility.
Yeah.
I was trying to say that to Eddie this morning. You know, I was trying to say the fact that I've been on streams where I've completely torpedoed them, and I felt ashamed about that afterwards. You know, and I tried to make amends.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was torpedoing it, but he did in the end. He torpedoed a bit with the with the interaction with Danny. No, I hope Danny's okay, because Danny seemed to get a bit upset about that, and I don't blame him. You know, I mean,
Danny's a tough son of a bitch, man. He'll kick that dude's ass in real life.
yeah, but it's like Danny's also, he's a classy guy, Danny.
Yeah,
You know, he doesn't really want to go that route. You know,
but if he's pushed to the limit, he'll respond in kind. You know, as any red-blooded man would do. I mean, you know, you spit in my face.
Yeah.
I respond to you. I punch you in the face.
Yeah.
I spit in your face. You know, I mean,
I think Danny likes the banter and the carry on, you know, and the crack, just carrying on like. But
he likes having fun.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to
Look, if it.
Go ahead.
If it's not fun, there's no use. There's no use doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
I wouldn't listen. You know, I was listening to you, and I'm not being critical of you, Herman.
No.
I'm trying to. Yeah. I'm not saying, but don't read too much into Arch about, you know, what's happened in the past, what he's doing, what he's not doing. I think people do that. Look, it's been a terrible thing that's happened.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's got through it. I don't know how I would get through it. Like, I've got two sons. I've got two boys. They're not boys anymore. They're men. Okay, they're adult men.
But they're kids. They're your
but children. You never let. It's like he said. You know, it's the worst thing in the world that could happen, and I don't know how he's.
Of course it is.
Of course. Whether or not going to Shin's End, and that maybe that was his way of grieving. You know, that maybe that was his way of processing it. So.
I hope.
I was a bit critical. Look, I was the one that was. I was a bit critical of it to at one stage, and I was feeding into narc shit, with Nick, and not. I was trying to steer narc away from that, you know. But it seems I don't know what the problem is with narc. Narc seems to have a bee in his bonnet over keys or some shit, and
yeah, but
narc wants to.
Attack. He never.
He is.
His own
narc is good for a stream if you want to spice it up. You know, he's good for a stream if you want to spice it up.
Yeah,
but
he never.
It gets to the point where it gets. Yeah, it gets to the point where it's like, you know, I suppose coming from myself. I mean, I'm a parent as well. Are you a parent? Do you have children, Herman?
Well, Archie brought that up, and I think he should not have brought up. In fact, he doesn't know the real facts about that. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll hear him saying things about that. I think that was beyond the pale. I think he should have left that stuff out. And for the fact of the matter, he doesn't know if I have children or not. Maybe
okay.
I choose.
Well,
maybe I
that's
choose not
that's okay.
Bring them into this, you know, cesspool.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's your business.
Yeah.
But we're not the same, Herman. We're all different. You know, if we're all the same, the world would be a fucking boring place, wouldn't it? You know, we're all different.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the globalists are trying to make us all the same. You know.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to do it.
I hope not.
They're not going to win. They're not going to win with that, because we're all different, and we all react differently to certain situations and incidents or traumatic events that happen in our lives. So I'm talking for me. I'm not talking for anybody else. I'm just talking for myself, and I'm putting it out there that I did jump on that bandwagon of, you know, why isn't he doing this, that, the other, blah blah blah. And then I start to think, hang on a minute, what about if it was you? What would you be fucking doing? Before you start, you know, being critical of anybody else, what would you be doing? How would you be reacting? So it's like, not all
And I,
race horses are designed for all race courses. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Different horses for
absolutely.
different courses.
Yeah, right. I love horse racing.
Yeah, we had horses when we were younger, Herman. My father, we had Shetland pony. My older
Nice.
brother had a stallion.
Wait.
My sister had a horse. The Shetland pony was the worst out of the lot of them. He was a bastard. He was good fun, but he was a prick. Yeah, he used to try. He'd bite you. He'd rub you up against fences. He'd charge you from behind and knock you over. Just playing, you know. He was just playful. He was just playful. But when you're a kid, you know, when you're a kid, a Shetland pony, when you're an adult, they're not a big. They're just a pony, you know. But when you're a kid, you know, he charges you from behind and butts you into the ground. He wouldn't stomp you. He'd just do it as like a plaything, you know. But it hurt. That was fun.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, Danny, thank you for that. Thanks for the compliment, man. Angelic was attacking me. He attacks me for no reason. The last time I talked to Angelic, he said I listened to a Scriabin piece on the guitar. It was wonderful. I said to him, "Right on, man." And then he comes on today and he says, "Herman's an idiot. Herman's an idiot." He says, "You know, idiot is not the right word. Maybe I'm an asshole, but I'm not an idiot." And he has a bigger vocabulary than that. Angelic is a smart guy. You know, if you're going to insult me, use the right words, Angelic. Sorry about that.
Yeah, maybe he was going through maybe he might have been going through some pain issues or something at the time. You know, who knows? But underneath, Angelic he's a really good soul.
I
Angelic
like him.
is
I don't know why he wants to attack me. He said my phrasing is terrible. He attacks my actual livelihood, like a musician. I'm like a professional musician. I might not be a good one, but that's what I do. And for him to like attack my musicianship is, you know, like a punch in the face. I don't get it.
Yeah,
he and I were getting along. We were, you know, the best of friends. We respected each other, and he wants to just.
I doff me cap to anybody that can play the piano, especially doing the classics like you do, Herman. I mean, I tried to learn guitar, but I was all fingers and thumbs, mate. That's why I took up the drums. You know, I'm a drummer. I just like bashing shit, you know. I tried to learn sheet music because I had it in my head at one stage there when I was younger. I want to be an orchestral drummer, but orchestral drumming is a completely different world to than just sitting behind a kit and just going town bashing at it.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
But
yeah,
I found that I learned by ear. The best way I can describe my learning was I took lessons. I went to a school. I went to Billy Hyde Drum Clinic in Melbourne. That's where Angelic's from in Victoria.
Yeah,
it's one of our southern states. I went there and I sat in a couple of sessions with a guy trying to learn orchestral, off the sheet music, orchestral drumming, which is very difficult, and it's not freestyle, and you have to keep to the
to the score,
you know, the sheet. Like because you're in an orchestra with you know 50 or 60 or 80 or 100 other musicians, and you've got a conductor. You know, I mean, you've probably been in orchestras, and you've probably heard orchestral drummers.
Yeah.
And I used to sit and listen to them, and I'd sit and listen in awe. So I said to my father, I thought, wow, I'd like that. What's that all about? You know, and I was lucky with my father, you know, whatever I asked, whatever I wanted to experience, he'd sort of give me the opportunity of, but then again, I was more a rock and roller, you know, heavy metal stuff, like just basic beats, you know, AC/DC, that sort of thing.
I was too when I was like in my teenage years. It was Metallica and Iron Maiden and that kind of stuff, and I wanted to play the guitar and, you know, play all
Yeah, well, you know Lars, if you listen to Lars with Metallica,
Lars. Yeah,
And
I met him.
yeah, if you listen to some of those songs, he changes the beat up. He changes the beat up, and you think I've listened to it over and over, and I'm thinking, how the fuck is he doing that? But what he's doing is he's going with who's the guy on bass, the bass guitarist with Metallica.
The
I think
current
he's
bass
because the
player,
bass.
it was
Yeah,
Cliff
yeah,
Burton,
yeah.
and then it was Dave. No, it was Newstead, and the new guy is like Trujillo or something like that. They've had three bass
Danny,
players.
is it? Yeah, he comes over.
He's
Have
a
you
serious
seen any
bass
of their
player.
live shows? Yeah, he is a serious bass player. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Have you seen their live shows? They're fucking awesome. But Lars changes the beat up, and he follows, I don't know
You're
whether
absolutely
it's
right. He changes the meter. It's like 1, 2,
but
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4,
yeah,
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
yeah,
2, 3, 4,
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and that's sophisticated stuff. And I'm amazed that you noticed that, because most people don't notice that about Metallica. They just say that.
Well, I'm a
Lars
drummer,
plays
so I do know. Robert Trujillo. Yeah, Cliff was with him from 82 to 86. He died in a bus accident, didn't he?
Yeah. In Sweden, I think it was, or Denmark. It was in Denmark. Yeah.
Trujillo joined in 2003. But a couple of I think it's, what's that fucking song? It's awesome when you're listening to it. When you listen to Lars, and I probably can't play it because I don't want to get you a strike. Trying to think of the Orion. It's called Orion.
Orion.
You know, it's like there's no vocals in it. It's all mute.
Yeah.
It's just it. And
That's
there's a live. I think they're doing a live. I don't know whether they're in Germany somewhere, and it's Lars comes in after the bass. I think it sounds like an orchestra. It's like a build up to it. They go, and then Lars comes in and goes, and then the bass comes in, and then at one stage there, Lars, he switches it up. He goes. It's at one point in the actual song. There's the guitarist guy comes in with a bit of a break, and then he switches it up. It's fucking awesome the way he switches. It's like you said, he goes from that 4/4 to like.
Yeah, it changes up.
And he delays the thing.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Trying to think of the where it is. It's called Orion.
Orion. I think
Orion.
It's the last track on the Ride the Lightning album. I think.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Master of Puppets. No, Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets.
Yeah, Master of Puppets. Yep. That's a good one. Also, Call of Cthulhu is an instrumental.
You know who else was good at doing that? Switching up? It was Bill Ward with Black Sabbath. The stuff they were doing in the early 70s, like that switch, it was like, it would, if you listen to it, you'd sprain your brain, because the way he's twisting up the beat with Geezer Butler on bass and Tommy Iommi.
Yeah.
Bill Ward was amazing. He was more like an orchestral drummer. He's an amazing drummer. That early stuff of Black Sabbath, when you listen to his drumming, you think, fuck, how did they come up with that, you know? How did they come up with that twist in the beat? There's one song, it's not Paranoid, it's something else. Yeah. Amazing.
Black Sabbath,
but I tried I tried orchestral drumming, and
well, you have to sit there,
never really
sit there and wait and play nothing for.
Well, you have to apply yourself. You know, you have to really apply yourself. It takes a lot of discipline. You know, and I get frustrated if I can't. Look, I'm an impatient prick. I get frustrated if I can't master like half a day, you know. And then I just throw the fucking I throw the toys out of the playpen, mate. I throw the toys out of the playpen and just fucking go crazy.
It takes 10,000 hours to get decent at any skill. 10,000 hours of practice. So
yeah.
that's like 3 hours a day
Where did
for.
you come from a musical family, or was
Uh,
your other siblings or parents, or?
yeah, my dad played the piano really badly, and when he played it, he was really passionate, but he was very tense. And when I was growing up, I played the piano in a very tense manner, and I learned that I got to relax. I got to physically relax in order to execute the notes. Because if you're too tense,
Yeah.
you can't physically do anything. Like anybody who's good at anything physical, a golfer or whatever, they're relaxed when they're doing their stuff. They're not tense.
Mm.
And my dad was tense, and
Yeah.
he taught me to be tense. So I had to unlearn that. It took a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've
All the
listened to
great.
you I've listened to your stuff. Like, it's amazing when I've listened to, like, the one that I really, I couldn't believe it when you did the got to catch 'em all. I couldn't believe
Yeah.
it, the way you did that. The got to catch 'em all. That was
my stu-
amazing.
yeah, my student wanted to learn it, and he gave me the music, and I told him I'd learn it to play for him, and I recorded it, and yeah, it's not something. It's not my generation, but it was fun to learn.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah. Well, you know about music, like reading music and
Yeah.
chords and phrasing and all this. Like I said, I doff my cap to anybody who likes or is able to do that. Like I said, I get impatient. I got impatient with it.
It's so easy to become impatient. That's the natural thing.
Mm.
You try, and it's frustrating, and we give up because it's hard. But we have to persevere.
Yeah,
Jesus! You listen to the loud cars going by. My God! If everybody drove a
bit of
noisy
hooning
car
going on.
like that, if everybody
That
drove a noisy,
sound like
yeah, we'd all be deaf.
sounded like a V8.
Yeah, I'm in Irvine. A lot of Teslas. Like every other car is a Tesla, but then you got
Yeah,
people
it's the
with
same here, mate.
You got people with Porsches
Everybody's driving Teslas.
and Bentleys and Mercs, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my father was he was a muso, like, before I was born. He had a band. Um, I think he started on the piano, then he learned bass. Um, he also tried the horns, the trumpet. He was he was into jazz. He
Yeah.
was a big
Yeah.
fan of jazz,
Yeah.
and um,
Jazz is high level
there's
stuff.
guys. Yeah, well, there's guys around. I'm talking, 60s, early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. My parents were married in the 50s, so I'm talking late 50s, early 60s. He wasn't really into wasn't a rock and roller, not like
Yeah.
Elvis, into Elvis and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff,
Right.
but more into jazz and lots of intro, like the piano, bass, the drums, guitar, also into banjo jazz. I don't know whether you've heard the jazz guys. There was a guy around years ago in Australia called Smacker Fitzgibbons. If you Google Smacker Fitzgibbons, he was like banjo jazz, but he would sing as well, and very talented, very, very talented on the banjo. Like, he could
Nice.
play and twirl it. Yeah, twirl it, pluck it with his teeth and that.
Do you like
Oh,
Irish music?
yeah, yes, that's
Can you
where I was
tell
going to
how?
go. My father was also, he liked bagpipes. He liked the
Yeah.
bagpipes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
tried to get me into, the marching drums, drumming on, but marching. Um, you have to learn and be proficient with paradiddle diddles and rolls and fills and stuff like it. when you're younger, like I was probably 9, 10, 11, and it's hard on your hands. It's hard on your hands. Like the sticks, they seem big. Like if I hold sticks now, they're not as big because I'm an adult. But when at that age, the sticks were huge, you know.
Yeah.
And I was trying to learn. I was trying to learn how to hold the sticks in a not the offhand way, like with the left, because I'm a right lefty. You know, I'm not a lefty. You know, I don't cross over. Like I'm like Angelic. Have you ever seen Angelic play with the right hand on the hi hat? But marching is using drums like you've got one snare, and that often you've got sheet in front of you, sheet music. I got into that a bit with my father, pipe band type thing, you know. And you talk about Irish. Do you like the tattoo? Do you ever? My father is Scottish. My mother's side is Irish. That he used to like the tattoo. We'd sit and watch the tattoo at Edinburgh Castle.
What is you mean the Highland pipes? Scottish Highland pipes?
No, the tattoo. They call it the tattoo. The military. Jock would know what I'm talking about. The military they've got a big parade ground, and they all come out. They all come out in formation, you know, with the drums, the bagpipes, all that. They call it the tattoo.
Yeah, and the kilts. Yeah.
Yes.
That's powerful stuff.
It is powerful stuff, mate. Yeah.
Check out The Acorny Lasses by Planxty. Planxty's an Irish band. It's my favorite Irish band. I think they're as great as the Beatles. And nobody knows
what's
who
that?
they are. Planxty.
Acorny Lasses.
Yeah, that's the name of the tune. The Acorny Lasses. It's a bagpipe tune. It makes you want to, get into fisticuffs. It's powerful stuff, man. You got to listen to it after this stream ends.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look up the Acorny Lasses Planxty.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's badass. I love me some bagpipes. Marcus.
You know, Arch plays the clarinet, don't you? You know, Archie plays the clarinet.
Yes. His son plays better than him.
I think Archie's good. He just doesn't play much anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I enjoy.
But his father, Papa Pluta, is very talented as well. He's a talented violinist.
Yeah, he bought an expensive violin, like $30,000 violin, and he plays in an orchestra. So yeah.
Have you heard him play? Have you heard his father?
Are there any videos of him playing?
There was one around, but I don't know whether it's still up there or not. But it blew me away when I watched it. I went, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he can play, mate. He can really play.
Yeah.
He appreciates. My younger brother tried to take up the violin, and I don't know whether you've ever tried it, but Jesus, mate, it's not an easy instrument to play.
No, it's not an easy instrument at all. No. Let's see. Hermy Monkey in a Van, Ostrich Claw. Yeah, man. That's me, Ostrich Claw. Look at that. Rheumatoid arthritis, baby.
Yeah. What do you do, Herman? Do you take anything for it, or do you just use what do you? Have you ever tried cortisone? Have you tried cortisone at all?
Yeah, that works for osteoarthritis. It doesn't really work for rheumatoid.
Okay.
I take an IV. I take an IV every 4 weeks, and then I take a thing called methotrexate, which is like a cancer drug. It helps the Remicade to work.
Is it just in your fingers, or is it anywhere else? In your legs or knees,
it's all over my body. I'm not gonna show you the rest of my body. I'm gonna spare you that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Shit.
Kells water. Yeah, Marcus.
I'm sorry, mate.
No worries, man. No worries. It's not your fault at all. Curly calls me Ostrich Claw and makes fun of my affliction. That's fine. That's him. But Marcus Mandel, Kells Water is a great song from Planxty. Yes, Kells Water. Here's Here's a health to you, Bonnie Kelswater. Well, you get all the pleasures of life. Yeah, I met Andy Irvine. Andy Irvine is the guy who wrote that song. I met him at a concert. He's a genius. He is a one-man show. He sings and plays like the bouzouki. He doesn't play guitar. He plays bouzouki, which is like a Eastern European instrument. And it's a one-man show.
Yeah.
And the guy is a master. Andy Irvine. He wrote that song, Kelswater. Listen to that too. Kelswater, Planksty. Listen to that. I beg of you. I beg of you.
Yeah, because we were my sister was in doing because we'd have the gymkhanas with the horses. My older brother was into equestrian, show jumping and that, and you'd have the girls doing the the dance, the Highland dance. The girls that do that kick they did it once a year with the the annual show. You'd have the dances. That's not easy either. They have a big raised platform floor, and it's a bit like a gymnastic type dance.
Yeah.
Not easy to do.
No, it's the thing. It's for young people.
The Irish music I'm sort of thinking about is the more of the pub music, but
Certainly Danny wants me to.
You like the Dubliners, the Pogues. You like the Pogues?
I don't know if I know the Pogues, but I'll check it out after the stream's over.
Yeah, I'm talking. What's his name with the Pogues? He was quite big, actually. The Irish Rover.
The Irish, the Pogues, the Irish.
Dublin. 80s. So I'm talking 80s. 80s.
Yeah.
Barney McKenna, Eamon Campbell.
Also, another one, I'm going to write it down in the chat here. The Bothy Band. Check out the Bothy Band. Another great Irish band. The Bothy Band.
Dirty Old Town, the Pogues. You heard that one? Dirty Old Town.
No, but after the stream, I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
The Dropkick Murphys. Shane McGowan. You remember Shane McGowan?
I've heard the name. Who is he?
Died in 23. The Dropkick Murphys, Dirty Old Town, the Pogues. So Irish pop.
I like Irish traditional. I like the folk stuff. The bagpipes and
the folk. Yeah, the folk.
I met Amy Winehouse once. You know her?
Did you?
Yeah, in Newport Beach. I was at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven, the convenience store. And she was there with like 3 Irish girls, and I heard their Irish accent.
Wow.
I didn't know who she was, and I said, "Oh, are you Irish? Do you know Planksty?" And they said, and then she said, Amy Winehouse said, "I love Planksty. I opened for them." And then her friend said,
"Yeah,
this is Amy Winehouse. Do you know her?" And I thought to myself, "I've heard that name." They were buying like a 24-pack of cheap beer.
Yeah.
So that was my introduction to Amy Winehouse. I didn't know who she was when I met her, but I recognized the name, and she was buying a shitload of alcohol. Poor thing, she died of withdrawals from alcohol. Yeah, very sad.
Yeah, a very soulful singer though. Contralto vocals.
Yeah.
And she had an eclectic mix of musical genres: soul, rhythm, blues, reggae, jazz. She was fantastic. Actually, if you listen to a lot of her early stuff, she's on the guitar. She was quite good at the electric
Yeah.
as well. I don't know whether she's more rhythm, but yeah.
And I met Lars also. I met him in Fashion Island, at the Fashion Island shopping center in Newport Beach, California. He was there with his wife.
Yeah.
And I said, "Are
Yeah,
you
he's a
Lars
cool guy.
Ulrich?"
He's pretty. Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, I am." And he was looking at some gadget, some electronic gadget. And he said, "You want to buy this for me?" And I think I said, like, you got enough money to buy it for yourself, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Lars. Amy was talented, yeah. She was talented, yeah. Talented. Talent's
Very
not
talented.
everything. Talent is
No,
like
it's
10%.
not everything, mate.
Yeah, talent's 10% and work is the other 90%. You know.
Mm.
I'm not disparaging her. I'm just saying that, the drugs and the alcohol it destroyed a lot of musicians. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Brian Jones. The list goes on and on. And they died.
Yeah, and that time that was a different world, Herman. In that time, it was like sort of you're dealing with. There's a lot of showmanship involved in that. It's entertaining. So entertainment, with the entertainment business, the show business, you get that.
Yeah.
Goes with it. Some people. You look at guys like Elvis, that became so big and so famous that they actually, you look at his life story, where he came from. There's a lot of people out there now. There's this one guy on YouTube. He's got this thing about defending Elvis, all this stuff with Priscilla, with Lisa Marie, what happened with her, what's happening with Graceland, Lisa Marie's daughter. I think she's in charge of Graceland now, but there's a lot of talk about Elvis was sort of controlled. He was controlled to a lot. He was controlled. I think he had a lot more creativity in him. He wanted to do acting. He wanted to be serious about acting, and because he was locked into that movie contract, he was locked in for 10 years before he broke out of that. Did the Comeback Special 1, then Comeback Special 2, and then went to Vegas and started the shows. But people burn out. You look at what he had to do 2 or 3 shows a day, and perform 2 or 3 shows a day at the International in Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's got to have an effect to front up. People they sit and they look at people on stage and they think, oh, it looks easy, it looks great. It looks easy. I could do that. I could get up on stage and sing and move my hip and carry, like he used a lot of his karate. He used a lot of his karate skills, in that movement on the stage and stuff like that. But also, musically he was. Well, I think that's God-given talent. You look to me like you've got that too. I think people can pick up things along the way, and then people go, "Oh, you're talented," but I think you got something inside that where you get, it's like a spark that's lit, like a fire.
Yeah.
And that's I think it's God-given talent. You've got that talent in you. It just needs that spark. It needs that spark for it to ignite.
Great music.
Elvis predominantly started as a gospel singer. I don't think he was really. I think his passion was gospel.
Yes.
So there's a lot of influences there with Memphis and the blues.
He had a
Memphis scene.
Great voice.
Yeah. Well, that's God-given, that voice.
Yeah.
My youngest boy, my youngest boy's got a good voice. He used to have a lot of vids up on a channel. A lot. He was singing, the Japanese, like the anime songs and that. He was singing them in Japanese.
Yeah.
He had a good voice. I wanted him to go on with it. Actually, I wanted him to get lessons. He naturally he sounded good, without any lessons. I don't think he'd had any. He just got him. His older brother helped him with the tech, with the mic and that in his room, and he just got in front of the mic and just opened up his vocal cords and just let it all out, And I said, and I was watching him and going, "Hey, mate, you sound good." Like I was trying to build him up with it, but I think he lost interest in it, But vocally, he was really strong. He had a strong voice because he's a big guy. He's big lungs. Good vocal cords.
Good instrument. Yeah. Like when you're a singer, the body is the instrument. And some singers have a better instrument than others. I have a terrible instrument for singing. I'm a terrible singer. I can sing on key, but the quality of my voice is crap. But Elvis had a good sounding voice,
Yeah, I've heard what one of them described as a love tone. The love tone. Elvis had the love tone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you get to that, he came along like it was like a comet, that shot across the sky that time, the right timing,
Yeah.
But then he became a prisoner of his own fame, He became a prisoner of it, which was sad in the end. And he always thought that he was, anti-drugs, illicit drugs and that, but he thought that the doctors prescribed drugs. He thought that was okay. Like he did have some issues, some health issues, but I think if it was now, maybe I think they did try to help him, but I suppose when you've got total control, but it's a bit of a rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah, I mean, he probably trusted his doctors. Glenn Gould, I don't know if you know him. He's a Canadian pianist, a great genius. He had the same problem. He was addicted to drugs. He went doctor shopping. He got multiple prescriptions from multiple doctors. And he died at 52, I think.
Yeah.
And the guy was a musical genius beyond words. I mean, just off the charts.
Yeah.
His IQ was probably 180 or something like that. And he killed himself with the pharmaceutical drugs.
What was his name? Glenn
Gould.
Glenn Gould.
Yeah, Canadian. The greatest Canadian who ever lived, perhaps. Or maybe Gordon Lightfoot. Either Gordon Lightfoot or Glenn Gould, the greatest Canadian who ever lived.
Yeah, Glenn Herbert Gould, Canadian classical pianist.
Yeah. Yeah. He has like
among the most famous and celebrated pianists of the 20th century. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Check out some of his videos.
Renowned as an interpreter of keyboard works of Johann Sebastian Bach. He was an interpreter of the classics. See, those guys amaze me. Like when you're talking about Bach and Beethoven, that amazes me. That stuff that they were able to write at the time.
Like the greatest men who ever lived. There's like Jesus Christ.
And a lot of the instruments they weren't playing grand pianos either, were they, Herman? They were playing like little,
Bach.
I watched a show on
harpsichord.
Yeah, the harpsichord.
Yeah,
the harpsichord.
A clangy thing, just clangy. But Bach is such a genius that his music sounds good on any instrument. You can play Bach on any instrument, any group of instruments, and it all sounds good. But if you try that with like a Chopin, like nocturne, it doesn't work. It has to be on the piano. So Bach wasn't thinking in terms of musical instruments. He was thinking in terms of sound and just that, and that makes him a great musical figure. So I think Bach,
It says Gould
Beethoven,
disliked public performances, and he stopped giving concerts at age 31 to concentrate on studio recording and media. So,
Gould. Yeah.
he was an only child.
Check out Planxty, the Acorny Lasses. Also check out Planxty, Kelswater, and then take a look at Glenn Gould, my dear friend.
Yeah, I will.
And
oh, you knew him? Or you knew this guy, or
no,
did you know him?
He died in '82 when I was like 8 years old. But my teacher knew him. My teacher had telephone conversations with him, and he said a telephone conversation with Glenn Gould is a high-level virtuoso performance. The guy was.
Oh, he had a stroke at 50.
Yeah.
He died suddenly of a stroke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He predicted his own death. He said he would not live past 50, and he was right.
Fuck.
But yeah, Canadian national treasure. He was a Canadian national treasure. So was Gordon Lightfoot, and I'm not sure who else is a Canadian national treasure. Rush? Nah.
What about that guy? What about, is he Canadian? I'm trying to think of his name. He had a couple of big hits in the 70s. Not Frampton. Was Peter Frampton? No, Peter Frampton was
English.
That's right. Peter Frampton was English. I remember the double album he brought out, Frampton Alive. Frampton Alive.
Yeah.
You know, he had that hit on it. That how do you feel? Is that?
Yeah, Peter Frampton.
Feel like I do. There's another guy too. I was trying to, not Neil Young. No, Young was Canadian, isn't he? Neil Young.
He's
Canadian, isn't he?
I thought he's American.
I think he is. I don't know. I think he might be Canadian.
Oh, you might be right. Actually, Marcus
Canadian American. Canadian American. Okay. He's saying he's Canadian. I don't know where he was born. Yeah, I used to like listening to Young, Heart of Gold, all of that. Crazy Horse. Crazy Horse.
Marcus is mentioning Norm Macdonald. Do you know Norm Macdonald?
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah. He was a great comedian, Canadian. Great comedian. Absolutely tremendous comedian. You have to listen to his Professor of Logic joke. It's the most hilarious thing. So please, after the stream is over, because my thing is dying, I got 5%. Please listen to
Planxty. No worries.
Planxty, the Acorny Lasses, Planxty, Kelswater, and Norm Macdonald, the Professor of Logic joke. You will laugh your ass off.
I will. I will, man. See if you can find Smacker Fitzgibbon. See if you can find Smacker. I don't think there's many vids of Smacker still up there. That's going back away, but yeah, Smacker Fitzgibbon. All right, Herman.
All right, T-Dubs, I love you, man. God bless you.
Love you too, brother. Take care.
God bless Australia.
Yeah.
Thank you,
mate.
The UK.
God bless everybody.
America. I love you, man. Good night.
Cheers, Herman. Take care, mate.
Cheers, brother.